And you get a lot of background noise from you. Or was that Scott? Gotcha.
It's our customer service working.
Yep. Hard at work. That's the sound of business.
So our next global star party is called Look Back Time.
So we're going to be talking about how we run time machines.
Kinda. Have you ever heard of that term before, Annie? Look back time?
No, sir, I have not.
No? It's a term that astronomers use. It's the effect of, the further away something is from you, the further back into time you're seeing it, because light takes time to travel to you. So anything that you see, whether it's 1 foot away or millions of light years away, however far away it is, that is the look back time also. So you don't ever, I don't mean to blow your mind or anything, Annie, but anything that you see is as it was, not as it is.
I had that discussion with my dad when I went on vacation about how everything you see is really in the past, because it's it has to have time to travel to you.
It takes time for your computer screen light to travel to your eye,
Mhm.
and then it takes time for your brain to process it.
Yeah.
So you're never seeing live action.
Yeah.
But good enough.
Yeah.
Hopefully good enough you can't dodge a bullet, but you could dodge
An asteroid
possibly a train, for example,
or an asteroid.
maybe.
Maybe. How fast can
I
you move?
spelled
Ken?
howdy wrong. How could I spell howdy wrong? I spelled howday.
Howday.
Hi.
That must be Swedish. Howday.
Howday
Pekka.
are you?
You did that for Pekka.
I don't think it's Swedish.
Howday.
Howday. Could be, because they, here in the South, we do put an emphasis on our A's. Eduardo Simone says, I don't know, Kent, an asteroid is moving over 10,000 miles an hour, 18,000 miles an hour, excuse me.
Yeah, but if it's far enough away, you're golden.
Yeah. It's a big problem for us,
That's
We
the
find
scale
one
I'm
that
thinking
is aimed
about.
right at Earth, like a big one. What do we do?
Put our knees between our legs and
You continue to pay taxes?
brace for impact.
Harold Locke says, that's good enough. Howday, Annie, Kent, and Scott. Oh. I'm going to do something here. I'll show an overlay of what the new announcement poster looks like. Here's this. Here it is. So this illustration was done by NASA, Hubble Space Telescope. It's kind of cool because it shows, through an illustration, what look back time is like for us, seeing the galaxies or the proto-galaxies to, quasars to what we think is the Big Bang era. Of course, there's even beyond that. So
Scott's sitting here looking at the logo for the, I guess it'd be the 80th one. This is 75th.
74th.
So fourth, yeah, fourth, yeah. So You might just want to put 80th instead of using Roman numerals.
I don't know.
LXXX.
This is cool. The guys at James Webb are doing a very nice job in updating.
All those guys running around with vacuum cleaners.
Yeah. Again, I'm just pushing that thing.
That's a big old elevator.
Check these guys out. Those dudes in spacesuits are just the refueling guys. Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts from Explore Alliance and Explore Scientific. And this is the 59th FirstLight Chronicles, I believe. Is that correct?
I've lost count.
You've lost count. I believe it is.
I think it
So-
is. I'm not for sure.
Good enough for us.
Good enough for you guys, huh?
Yep.
Well, we are here with Annie Scarbrough and Kent Marts, and today we here I'm going to share a link because we're on QVC today, which is one of the reasons why I kind of cut the Global Star Party a little short. I'll share that link here and chat with you guys.
Were you live? Were you live or was it recorded?
It was
on
live.
QVC?
It's recorded and live. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a live broadcast. It wasn't
Yeah, it's
recorded
only
live.
a 9-minute deal. If any of you in the audience have been on Home Shopping Network or QVC, you know that it, when you're on, it goes by like really super quick. So it was like, all the technical hurdles, because I think what's interesting right now is that shopping through a television network is now kind of done even more virtually. You used to have to fly and go actually to the studio and do all that stuff. And now we're doing it in our own studios and everybody hooks up on Skype. But I think that QVC is doing a really remarkable job in that way. Of course, this is a beginner telescope, but FirstLight Chronicles is a beginner type of program. And so when you check it out, you'll see that this is a 70 millimeter refractor with a simple star app map program that works with Bluetooth with the telescope. So it's kind of cool. But anyways, aside from all the kind of higher end stuff that we do, we also do stuff that's at the beginning level. And beginner telescopes, as I've said many times, is very, very important. That $17.50 telescope that I got in 1970 sits on my desk as a reminder of where a little telescope for Christmas or the holidays where it can take you. So it's been the memories of me looking at the moon for the first time. I couldn't find planets or anything because I just didn't have a good mentor, and we certainly didn't have computers and all of that stuff to help us out. So
Scott,
it's a new age.
what year was that? 1970?
This telescope is from 1970.
So to put in perspective, that's $121 today.
Right. And this is
Yeah.
just a 40 millimeter telescope on a tabletop stand. The finder scope had no optics in it. Okay. It was just a tube. You'll notice that there's no adjustments on it. There's just like a screw that kind of holds this metal band. Okay. And it was a floppy mount and all the rest of it. 40 millimeter objective, which is still intact here. It did give me beautiful images of the moon, though. I remember being really startled to see craters in the detail that I did. So,
Did you have to like attach one of those old time film cameras to it to take pictures?
Couldn't do it.
I'm
a
just
Brownie
curious.
Fox camera or something.
Yeah, where you put the hood over your head, but way
Hey,
back.
I was a photographer and I did do that kind of work. So, where we had the big plates and everything, and we'd flip it around and actually shot on something called film, Annie. So.
I
Yeah.
do know what film is. I'm
You know what film
actually
is?
old
I know
enough
you
to know
do.
what film, and I know what a Polaroid camera is. I had one. I'm actually that old.
I know you do. You're a photographer. Kent certainly is a photographer. Kent and I spent tons of hours in a dark room, not together, separately, but,
Probably at the same time, almost guaranteed we're in the dark
oh,
room
I'm sure.
at the same time. Because back when my teenage years,
Yeah, a dark room developing film. Okay, Annie?
yes,
That was what we were doing.
not just a dark room, but
Now,
That's
I've
right.
never developed film, so I don't know how to do that. But
Oh,
and there was times, Scott, that, I was in a dark room for 18, 20 hours, just straight. You lose track of time. You get in there and my home dark room was in the bathroom. So had
Yeah.
access to the bathroom, and I just stayed in there making prints for massive
day.
amount of time, all
yeah,
night.
all day. Yeah,
Yeah.
all
did your
night.
parents say, where did Kent go? Oh, he's in the bathroom again
Generally they,
in the dark.
in the dark.
Generally actually in the red light, so,
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I actually
You'd have
miss
an
that.
amber safe light that you could print with at least,
Yeah.
If it was film though, you were in darkness.
Yeah. If you're loading film, you're in darkness.
Did you at least have another restroom that other people could use?
Yeah. We had an outhouse out back for those times.
Nice.
It was a dirt
At
floor
least you
house.
didn't build a dark room in the outhouse. So
It was a dirt floor house, and
Was
not
it?
really. No,
Okay. No.
but we did have an outhouse in the back, but generally it was at night, and when nobody else was around, I would go, take care of business sometimes
Great.
out in the backyard. Hey, teenagers. you do
Well,
stupid stuff.
let's recognize our audience today. Okay, we have James, the astrophotographer. Nice to see you again, James. Nice to see you logging in first. Mike Wiesner is there. Says hello from still cloudy Arizona. It's cloudy here too, Mike. So
Is that a name of a city? Still cloudy, Arizona?
still cloudy. Yeah, still cloudy Arizona. That's right. Eduardo Simone is on. Happy hump day, everybody. Dad Frequency is on. I like that name. That's cool. Harold Locke, Wild Wednesday here. Howdy, y'all. All y'all. That's right. And Martin Eastburn says howdy from East Texas. Harold Locke saying hello back to everybody else. David Samard is on from high from the northeast of New Brunswick, Canada.
That's the northeast of North America.
That's out there.
Yep.
That's right. But the internet brings us all closer. Who else is on? Mike Wiesner makes a comment. There will be an asteroid avoidance tax assessed by Congress. I'm sure there will. They'll make us pay for it. Yeah. Maybe
That
we'll
won't
just
go.
they'll ask us to think about it. Would you rather be annihilated by an asteroid or pay really heavy taxes?
Or pay $10 a year.
I'm going to have to think that over first. That's right. Let me think that over.
Do you pay half tax if it half hits you? Like if only part of you avoids it and the other part doesn't?
Well, what happens if it's Africa and not us? Then we spent all that money for.
I don't know.
I really don't want a big asteroid to hit anywhere on Earth because,
It already did.
well,
It's
I know
going to again.
We don't want to do it. We don't want it to happen again, or else,
Well,
you
at
know,
least not while we're here, right? So,
unless the cockroaches win.
and they will win. Um, okay, and let's see who else was commenting here. We had a little bit of a comment about. I think Martin was talking about the illustration that was on our Look Back Time poster. That was done by NASA. It was put together by NASA, ESA, and the Space Telescope Science Institute people. He said, what bothers me with that space model is that there is a direction in space that it begins. That, yeah, I'm with you there. So that I got to put something down to give a
Some
start point to
concept.
start to explain something. So let's see. Harold Locke wanted to know if we have a video of the latest supernova from tests. The NOVA website wouldn't let me play without subscribing. Harold, I don't, but I'll look for it. Okay. Eventually they put that stuff out. Harold Locke says, plus my machine failed to record QVC this morning. Maybe I put out a virus so no QVC machine could record it because, just kidding.
Trying to sound like me, Scott.
It doesn't.
I like
Martin
Jim
Eastberg
Norwood.
said, I've worked in a class 1 experimental fab line for semiconductors. Beyond full bunny suits, it was restrictive. How about the guys that were in spacesuits fueling the James Webb Space Telescope? That's got to be a dangerous job right there, I would tell you.
That stuff sort of goes back to when the Nazis were doing, was it T stuff and K stuff? That was, if either one of them got on your skin, you could just basically killed you dead right then and there.
Jeez.
It was just very toxic stuff, but apparently it was pretty good fuel. So,
Jeez.
I like Jim Norwood's comment. I love shooting ASA 400 film. Tri-X was great, great film.
Yeah. Lubo in China says, I want a big meteor to hit the Earth. 100 megatons or 100 meters, not very big, just to start governments of the world to invest more into astrophotography. And that they probably would.
Here's how I take that. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but back in my newspaper days, I'd have employees would say, it'd be slow. And somebody, man, I wish there'd be a big fire. And I said, well, what happens if it's your house? Do you want your house to burn down and be a big fire so we have big news? Well, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Then don't wish for big fires.
That's right. You might manifest one,
Don't wish for big car wrecks. Don't wish for that stuff.
That's right.
Take it when it comes.
Sometimes come true. So
yep.
That's right. Okay. Well, let's get back to business, I guess. But it is fun to read the comments there from the chat. Let's get with Annie. Annie has not been here for a little while. You've been on vacation, which is cool, and but you're getting back up to speed with the Explorer Alliance. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm starting to get back up I'm starting to kind of catch up now that we have a few new customer service reps. So what I've been wanting to do, which I've been trying to do over the last couple of weeks, is just kind of highlight our shows because we have so many great shows. But with the year ending and the holidays coming up and stuff like that, I wanted to kind of just highlight our contests and prizes that we do. We do so much for members and stuff. We want to give them that opportunity to be able to, we want to give back to them for their hard work and dedication to the hobby and growing, and just to cheer them on and be there with them, and just as a support. And so we do a lot of contests and prizes and things like that throughout the year. You do have to be an Explorer Alliance member. I have had to, I think 4 times now, I've had to redraw names because whoever, filled out a survey or you know, entered a contest, they weren't an alliance member. And so that is one of the qualifications to be able to earn a prize or enter a contest. So it breaks my heart every time. I'm like, oh man, I wish they would have joined, but that's okay. So, but I wanted to just kind of highlight our winners this year. So everybody kind of understands, because we spread it out throughout the year, and we don't, like, I don't think people realize we actually gave away around 40 prizes this year to members, just for filling out surveys or you know, entering contests or answering a question on a show, because it was the 10th show or the 20th show or whatever. And so you know, I just wanted to kind of go over that. So I'm going to show you guys my screen here. So this okay, so the Explore Alliance has contests and prizes throughout the whole year, and they just randomly comes at times. Sometimes we try to schedule stuff, like with the astrophotography contest, we try to schedule that and give you a time of, you know, when it begins and when it ends. And so, and our next one's going to be pretty long, and I'll talk about that more here in just a minute. But one of our things that we did this year is we sent out a PMC8 survey. And so we had about 40 people answer it. And so we drew names for those prizes. And so these were the winners, and this is what they won. An 82, you know, one of them, an eyepiece, you know, a USB power bank, you know, a multi-latitude planisphere, and an AstroLight flashlight. And then on the wing, we had a question that was answered, and Cameron Gillis won some binoculars. Then we had other drawings throughout the year that when I did not know about, because I wasn't over Explore Alliance, so I don't know what they won. But we had Martin Eastburn and Jeff Wise. Is that how you say that? I'm sorry if I butchered names
Wise,
today. Yeah. Win some prizes. And so, and I know we've had more, but I'm trying to make sure we keep better track of that. So we make sure everybody's getting everything they need. So, or everything they've won. So, I mean, you could, being a member, like, we could just throw your name in a hat and you could win something, you know, that gives you that opportunity to be able to win something. So, but we have had so many astrophotography contests this year, and we've had so many people enter. I think we've had a total of 5 contests this year. And we, the first one was was just a regular astrophotography contest. It had 6 different categories. And there was a first, second, and third place for each one. And some people didn't enter. I mean, some people, there were hardly any entries into some of these categories. And so I'm just going to run through these photos real fast so you guys can see them, because it's quite a bit. But if you see something you really like, holler, and I'll slow down. Okay. So here is first place for Deep Sky.
Awesome.
Second place. Here's
Go
second
back.
place.
Let's look at the first place one. Give me a little bit more time here.
Yeah, no, sorry, because there's a lot. Because I'm telling you, it's 5 contests. We had 5 contests, and so there was a lot.
Yeah,
there was
very
a lot
nice.
Yeah.
So you know what we ought to do? We ought to take all of the photos and have the best of the year.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
Let's take all the photos and have the best of show for the year, because we're done for the year now, right?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
We are done for the year. We're going to have a contest starting. When I get done here, I'll announce that, and then it'll run past into the new year.
So we'll take all the first place winners and pick a winner out of that.
That sounds great. That sounds like a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay. So the first place winner for Deep Sky. And then here's second place winner for
Helmet.
Deep Sky.
Wow. Beatrice, that's a great job.
Third place for Deep Sky.
Craig Weston.
The Bubble Nebula.
First place, this is lunar now. So this is
Richard
first place
Grace.
for lunar.
Nice, with
Mhm.
Earthshine.
The second place winner, Andrew Corkill
Very
for
detailed.
lunar.
Yeah, yeah.
Third place, Stefan Dahl for lunar.
Very good.
First place for planetary was James Hubbard.
Wow. Is that Comet Neowise? Do we know?
I don't
Probably.
not
Yeah.
for sure on that.
Yeah.
And then this is second place, Marco Polo. For that's also planetary.
Yes.
And now, see, there was only two. So see, that category only had two winners when we could have had three. So we just, I would
If-
love it if more people would, just
If
submit
so-
stuff.
If somebody had entered, they would have won third place.
Yep. So, first place, solar astrophotography, Richard Grace. Second place, solar astrophotography was Jim Norwood.
Nice.
And then we even did terrestrial. So we don't always do just solar space, whatever sky stuff. So we had some terrestrial photography. This is Jim Norwood, first place. This is Jennifer Shelley, second place.
Uh-huh. Cute.
And then
A chickadee.
I know, isn't it cute?
Is that what that
It's
is?
so cute.
It's probably a black cap chickadee, not a Carolina chickadee,
So,
knowing where she lives.
Annie,
Uh-huh.
Lubo in China wants to know how to join the competition. Maybe you can tell him.
So what you'll need to do is just go to explorescientificusa.com and go to Explore Alliance memberships, and you can join for free through Legacy. And
But in
so,
the contests are there under Explore Alliance as well.
yeah,
they?
and so, yeah, when we have them, after we announce them, we put up a page where you can go and enter your
Okay.
photos.
So let's put up the join page, which I'll do.
Yeah. Do you want
Put it in
to drop the link to the membership on there, Scott?
Doing it right now.
Okay, perfect.
So there's two levels.
So if
There's
you're
a-
not a member, you can join for free, and
Yeah,
and
for
we'll explain
Legacy.
what the membership types are.
Yeah, so
Go ahead,
Legacy gives you the chance to enter prizes and contests. You'll get information. You get the same information that a platinum member gets about new product and things like that. You'll also get to see all that and get the chance to, if you up a level, then you'll get the chance to get that stuff at a discounted price. And then you, of course, enter in the contests and things like that. You'll be able to win prizes and draw in inner drawings. So platinum is a paid membership yearly. It comes with an extended care coverage, no fault. And then it also comes with VIP access to events, the same as a Legacy. You get the information on new products. You'll get dibs and discounts on that new product. So we show it to our Alliance members before we show that stuff to our Alliance members before we show it to our regular customers. So you get to pre-buy all that stuff.
And there's always special pricing.
Yes. Yeah. So there's discounts on that. Trying to think what else. I think that's pretty much
They
it.
can go to the website for more details.
Yeah. Yep. So, and it really does pay off to have it. I mean, it's been amazing. I've watched customers use it and be very grateful for having it. So,
And you didn't tell them how much
What?
it costs and the secret gift they get back.
That's right. I knew I was forgetting something very important. So it's $99 a year, and then we turn around and give you a $100 gift card back to spend at Explore Scientific's website. So, so you're pretty much, you have to look at it this way. If you're going to go buy something for $100 from us anyways, you might as well just get the membership, and then you get a membership. You get 2 for 1, pretty much, a membership and whatever you're buying. So it's very well worth it. Very, very well worth it. So and the extended care coverage doesn't cover just like one Explore Scientific product. It covers anything that you own from Explore Scientific. So it's not it's not a
Not a-
warranty, but it's not a registration either. So
The membership program, everything
it's a-
you own. It's
yeah.
not like you have to buy one for your telescope and
Yeah.
one for each eyepiece and one for something else. It's just
Yeah.
one does it all.
Because it goes for the member, the person, not the product. So, okay, so let's continue on. This is third place, James Hubbard, little B, so cute.
Yeah.
This is time lapse. This is James Hubbard's as well.
I like that.
This is first place. He was the
Yeah.
only one that entered time lapse. So
You
if
did
we
a
would
good
have had-
job.
yep, he did a good job. So, yep, it's great. This is first place wide field, Johnny Belisario. I
Beautiful.
believe that's how you say that. Second place winner, wide field, this is Burge Astrophotography, I think is how you say that.
Is that Larry Bird? Bryce?
No, that's a
Burge.
G.
Burge?
BYRGE.
Yep, it is BRG.
This is third place Marco Polo wide field. So then that literally was one contest in itself. And so you can see how many people won prizes for entering those different categories. Then we ended up doing a DSLR astrophotography contest. We had first place winner Andrew
Wow.
Freihover.
Nice.
That is
Mhm.
really nice. Yeah.
It's
look at that.
beautiful. It's absolutely
that-
beautiful.
Is that where does he live? That looks like he's way south. Okay, go on. Yeah,
Sorry.
just looking at it.
That's second place was Craig Bobchin.
Greg Bobchin, yeah,
Mhm.
old friend of mine. Yeah,
Yeah. So he won second place in that DSLR.
that's great.
And then third place winner was Diana Herber. So
Excellent.
yeah. And then we had a smartphone astrophotography contest. We had first place winner was Mike Wiesner.
Yay, Mike.
Mike's the master of
Yeah.
smartphone astrophotography.
Yeah.
He has mastered it.
Definitely one of them, that's for sure.
And then we had second place was Andrew Corkill.
Andrew, yeah.
This is smartphone. For some reason I didn't fix this. Sorry. I was trying to do 20 things at one time. Third place winner
Pekka.
was Pekka Hautala for smartphone as well.
Very good.
And then we got into galaxies. We had first place winner Mark Helton. Then we had second place winner Beatrice Hines.
Beautiful.
Third place winner was George Lutch.
Excellent.
And then did I miss one?
That was third place.
Oh, I wonder if this is never before. No, I must have gotten them out of order. I don't think this is a galaxy.
Well, that's a galaxy.
This is a galaxy.
One of these is never before seen is what it is, I think.
So meaning somebody who had never entered a contest before.
Yes.
So they could enter anything they wanted for that one, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
we added that category just recently because we really want to see people's work. We really want to encourage, we really want to support you, and so we really want to see everybody's work.
It does not have to be taken with Explore Scientific gear.
Yes.
Some of the contests we've run have required that, but most of the contests are wide open, just astrophotography. It's not about
Right.
Explore Scientific gear.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Earth is running backwards. That was a lurch right there.
Man's pushing it. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so this is the solar astrophotography contest. The first place was Aaron Thompson.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is the one we just recently had. Second place was Pekka Hautala.
Well, Pekka's skills have really shot up. I don't know if
Yeah.
Pekka's watching or not, but 3 or 4 months ago, he was just starting to do solar and, was proud of the first images he got, but he has really come along. And that's a nice picture.
Yep. And then third place was Matthew McAllilly. And then this is never before seen. This is wrong too. I apologize. I was helping customer service. So, but I just wanted to kind of show, what we,
Maybe we're
there's
titled
a
that
lot.
wrong. It's not like it's never before seen, but
Yeah.
New entry or never before.
Yeah.
entry.
Yeah, we've played around with that name, trying to figure out a great
Yeah.
way to say it, and it's still doesn't roll off the tongue like we want to, but it's just, we
What it
really
means is they've never entered the contest ever
Yeah.
before.
never
Right.
entered a contest before, and we love it. We love seeing new faces and new pictures, and so it's really exciting. But this is okay. So this is what you get whenever you win an astrophotography contest with us. So first place gets $100 gift card, a bump in that membership, and we will send you an 18x24 print of your photo. Second place gets $75 gift card, same thing, bump in membership, 18x24. Third place, $50 gift card. And then of course the never before seen gets a $25 gift card, and then the bump in membership and the print. You're muted, Kent.
These prints are mounted on foam board, right?
Yes,
Or-
we mount them on foam board. It takes us a little time because we need the highest resolution sent to us. Then we send them to our printer. He prints them, and then we have an employee here that actually cuts things for us, and so he'll cut foam board. We mount them on the foam board. We get them packaged, and then we'll get them shipped out. So it takes it's a process to do that, and so I'm trying to get caught up on that as well, because I know we have a couple of winners that have not received their prints, and so I'm trying to get that taken care of. But this is our newest contest. We're doing meteors, and so it's going to run through January 31st. And Tyler was so gracious and gave me a list of meteor showers that are going to be coming up. So
We're already in the Leonids now.
yeah.
you know.
Clearly, he copy and pasted that because he can't spell most of those words.
Well, that's
Now,
very true.
apparently there was
but-
another little mistake. I think that Makalili said he did not make that Whirlpool Galaxy shot.
Yeah, I think I got it because I was copying and pasting the slides, and I think I got them mixed up. So I apologize for that. So, but yes, no, we have it. I have it correct in our system. I just, when you're trying to, I mean, it was 40. There's almost 40 people that I put into that slideshow. So that's a lot of winners, and there could have been more because like I said, we had a couple of categories.
And I think you had a
filled.
couple of interruptions today. So
Yeah, well, yes, I've had it, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm human and I make mistakes, and I just apologize if I messed up anybody's names or
right.
slides. So
The adrenaline rush of a deadline.
the
Yeah.
adrenaline, yes.
Andrew
yes. And-
Corkill is asking a question about meteor showers. He says, meteor showers will be challenging from the city. Is there any tips? I would say that probably, Andrew, to boost the ISO as high as you can without blowing out your sky. And try to, get some exposures that are, you also need long exposures to kind of keep things going. You can get them, but because occasionally I see like all sky cameras that are set up in fairly, light polluted areas, and still they're getting meteor images. The faint ones, it's going to be tough. It is. But if you get one like the Chelyabinsk meteor that exploded in Russia and left a giant hole in the ice, that thing lit up the daytime. So,
Or head out into the desert out east.
that's true.
It's a good
That's right,
excuse to.
Andrew.
I want to say one more thing about everybody's photos. We Scott and Kent and Tyler and I are not the only ones that see those photos. They go into our Skies Up magazine. They
Yep.
go on our website. And
Seen
also
by
it
a
was
big
really,
audience.
yeah, it was really, really neat the other day whenever I had some photos printed. I was standing there talking to Daniel and he's like, it's so neat to see everybody's photos. So it's not just this small group that you see right here that see your photos. It is, I mean, we show it to the world. And so we want to encourage you to keep on and, expand in that hobby and grow in it. And so that's our goal, is to encourage you to keep on going. So.
Great. Jim Norwood is Annie, thank you very much. That was good. Jim Norwood is asking, he says he had a question about upgrading the firmware on his PMC-8 on Monday. Annie was very helpful and got me on the right track. So kudos to
Hey,
Annie.
Annie.
Great. That's great.
Good job. Hey, I want to take a minute to shout out Annie. When Annie started back a year ago, Annie, when did you start? December?
It'll be a year right the week before Christmas.
Okay. When Annie walked in here, she knew two things about science: diddly and squat. She knew two things about telescopes:
No, it's true.
Diddly.
I will admit it.
diddly and squat. And
Really?
Annie, she had zero knowledge. She didn't know what an eyepiece was. She didn't know how telescopes worked. And Annie is now troubleshooting go-to systems and firmware installs, which are not, can be complicated to figure out what the problems are. Annie has done a tremendous job in embracing this and not just going, okay, it's a job, and I can put, square pegs in square holes all day long, and do road assembly. This is not that. And she has done a tremendous job. So Annie, you deserve a pat on the back for your performance this past year. So feel free to pat yourself on the back, but do not dislocate your shoulder.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ken. I absolutely love working here. It has been so much fun and to learn everything. And so, in fact, I took home a PMC-8, 2 days
Exos
ago,
100.
I think, an
You took it at home
Exos 100 PMC-8 the other day. So excited. I am taking the longer road in astrophotography. I'm starting off with just an older DSLR camera, and I've been using a Manfrotto tripod and doing a little bit of astrophotography, and then my computer died. But I still took home a PMC-8 because I want to still keep going.
So you've got the DSLR camera adapter that we sell, and you're going to put your camera on it and use it as a sky tracker, right?
Eventually. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just doing DSLR photography. I'm not even using a telescope. So I'll use the PMC-8 to track things, and I'll with that dovetail that you can get. And so we'll and then I'm going to start. Like I said, I'm going old school. I'm going to start using just a camera and then adding equipment as I go.
I have a Nikon FM2. If you want to go real old school, we can do film. We can set up a darkroom somewhere in the building, and you can have the joy of not knowing about your success until you develop your film. And there was many nights I'd expose pictures and go in the darkroom and develop it and go, well, that didn't work, and back out and do it all over again and change exposure. Scott knows about that.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah.
I can't tell you also how many times I saw beginners come out with clear film, nothing on the film at all.
Oh gosh.
Or mixing up the chemicals wrong, like going into Fixer first before you go into Developer.
That'll fix your pictures, all right.
It sure will.
Yeah,
the most I know about that is like whenever we used to take the rolls of film to Walmart, and then we'd have to go back a week later and then look at our photos and go, well, these are trash.
One of my best friends used to work at the Walmart photo lab, and they would take your rolls of film, open them up, and put them and tape them together into, I think it was 1,000-foot spools, and then run those 1,000-foot spools through the machine, and then untape them and get them all back in the right. I mean, amazing process that you could do that. where I'm used to doing, one or two or six rolls of film at a time that were all mine. So anyway,
Yeah.
but Annie, you've done great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
have.
Thank you.
And there's lots of people chiming in here. Andrew Corkill was commenting. He says, it's really far out to appear in Skies Up magazine. I showed my son my published images, and he was in shock and awe. That's cool.
That's awesome. How old
That's
is your,
cool.
your son, Andrew? Let us know. So
Yep.
anything else, Scott? Any other comments you want to throw in?
Just about astrophotography and all the stuff that we're talking about. Lubo in China is reminding everybody that there is a lunar eclipse coming up. That is on the 19th. And if you did not watch the Astronomical League Live 75th anniversary show, you need to go back and watch it. You could zoom ahead to Alan Dyer's talk, okay, about his whole hour and 15-minute long conversation was about this eclipse. And so it'd be a really great thing to watch again. And while Kent is talking about our holidays here, holiday season, and what your astronomically or science-minded person might want for this season, then I'll be looking for that particular program to share with you in the chat so you can watch it again.
I was going to say, how do you watch it? It's on YouTube. It's probably the easiest place to find it.
Yeah, I'll find it on YouTube and share it.
Putting the link in the chat's really good too. Okay, so here we go. The holiday gift guide. We have a holiday gift guide out. Holiday gift guide, the season of giving. I'm going to blow through these real quick. We got a bunch of stuff. So all of these are available on our website. I'm not talking about price. I'm just giving you ideas. We have a, there we go. The Alpen Shasta Ridge 4K Wi-Fi action camera. It has a 6 gyro stabilization unit. So you can at up to 60 frames a second, has multiple mounting accessories. So you can capture it from lots of points of view. Okay. The Discovery compact binoculars. These are great stocking stuffers for kids who love to explore. Their 30 millimeter objective lens offers bright view in a kid-sized package. These are Galilean binoculars. No, these are not the Galilean binoculars. Excuse me. These are effectively really good binoculars, for a really good price, although we're not talking about price. Another pair of really good binoculars, a little bit more expensive than the last pair we just looked at, the Alpen MagnaView 10x42 model 261. These binoculars are for those big kids in your life. And I'm sure somebody in your life would love to have these as a stocking stuffer. Fully multi-coated glass, offers clear, bright, crisp images, and the rubber The rubber armoring offers protection for this compact design. The 52-degree eyepieces, ranging from the 3 millimeter to the 40 millimeter, will make your astronomer giggle with joy at having some new eyepieces. These are our affordable series. They're waterproof.
Becomes a binocular when you put it in a bino viewer, I guess.
Correct. I don't know. I know why I said binoculars, because I'm looking on my screen and there's one on each side, and it reminded me of a binocular, and I've just talked about 3 pairs of binoculars. So anyway, comes in a whole range of eyepieces from real high power to nice wide field. I love, most of my outreach is wide field, low power viewing, because it makes it simple. Even my own viewing, a lot of times I'm doing it at real low power. Next up is the Explorer 1 land and water habitat and bug collector. Comes with a magnifying glass, tweezers, and a little bug net. Perfect for the kid in your life who loves nature and has a spirit of discovery. It's a great little way to hold something for a while and then easily let it go, and so it gets back into its natural habitat after you've explored its a little bit. The Discovery 900X microscope with hard carrying case comes loaded with experiments, an experiment guide, brine shrimp, salt crystals, all sorts of stuff, petri dishes, tweezers, variable powered color filter wheel, prepared slides, blank slides, all sort. Brine shrimp. Did I say brine shrimp? Scott, I think we knew those as sea monkeys, didn't we?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think
I was
brine shrimp are
afraid
sea
of
monkeys.
sea monkeys when I was a kid.
I never bought sea monkeys. I don't know why not.
They
But
would
I
show like
probably
this whole family with like a mom and a dad in a living room or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
that's exactly what it was. It was great marketing.
I thought, well, they're
Uh,
monkeys and they're little, and
and
I don't
yeah,
know. I just
so yeah.
didn't want to be
So
responsible for them.
National Geographic 50 millimeter telescope and 640X microscope lets you explore everything from the soil to the stars with this 50 millimeter telescope, 3 magnifications on the microscope, tabletop tripod on the telescope, eyepiece diagonal for comfortable viewing of the heavens. Great little starter telescope for the astronomer and microbiologist in your life. Next up is a new product for Explore Scientific, the National Geographic LED headlight, which is rechargeable, has 2 beam modes, white light and red light options, and emergency SOS signaling. Its really lightweight aluminum body is really rugged, and the magnetic base attaches to metal surfaces, giving you more illumination options. The guys back in the warehouse, guys and gals back in the warehouse, pulled, as soon as they saw them, they pulled these out, charged them up, and started using them back in the warehouse, because there are some dark corners, and you get back in the bins, and it can be somewhat difficult to see little writing. So there's probably 5 or 6 of these in use back in the warehouse right now. Next up is the National Geographic, the Explorer 1 metal detector. It's capable of detecting objects buried 6 inches below the surface. Makes a great gift, launching children into the world of treasure hunting. I will advise you, after finding a few coins in the carpet, don't take your ring off and throw it out in a pasture and then go try and find it using this, which is somebody did that and complained on an Amazon review a few years ago about that. So, this is a educational toy, although it will find the rebar, the steel rebar in the concrete floor in the building. I've gone all over the building with this and found concrete where over the floor, and it's gone off, and it goes off at the same spot every time. So it's finding the rebar buried in our thick concrete floors. Next up,
You know what else it's good for, Kent? Is
What?
even that small one, because you're showing a really cool, more advanced one right now. But this metal detector, very inexpensive, can help you find set screws that you drop in the grass. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And
Yep.
so I've been out in the desert, out in the mountains and stuff like that. And I did not have this particular metal detector, but I did have a friend that had a metal detector that we would do 2 things. One of them is that we would drive metal nails into the ground and then cover it with dirt. And that is where the feet of our tripods would go. Okay. So we set up our telescopes, but we would be almost, if not perfectly polar aligned, at least good enough polar aligned for casual work.
So
Okay.
you did this and left them there, and then went
We
back
left
and
them.
found them.
We left them, and you
Yeah.
kind of knew just from landmarks and like remembering where you went every time out into the desert, and so we could find those nails again. Of
That's
course,
a good
you could
idea.
always dig them out and take the nails out, but and then also finding some little metal part that you dropped. It's so easy to lose it.
Yep.
So this
I
works out
have
pretty good.
I have been working on things and dropped a little tiny screw or something,
Yeah,
and spent hours going through blade of grass by
yeah.
blade of grass
a
And
set screw on some of these telescopes. I mean, they're not easy to come by.
no, and you're done. The wrong set screw goes and you're done. So, all right, moving along, moving up to the big boy metal detector. This is the National Geographic metal detector with headphones. Has 7 different tones to help you identify the buried objects. Has a water resistant coil. The headphones obviously block out ambient noise and people who want to come up and ask you questions when you're metal detecting. It sort of encourages them to not bother you so you can keep metal detecting, so you can focus on what you're finding. Now, this next object is great if you have kids, but it's also great if you have cats, because I have one of these, not this one, but one of these other pop-up ones that we popped up for my 2-year-old grandson a few nights ago. And the cats have been having a field day with, in this case, the Explore Scientific space rocket. It's great for indoor and outdoor use. The Explore Hut space rocket is a perfect gift for ages 3 and up who have their eyes on the stars. Circular flap opening is great for crawl through fun that is sure to inspire imaginative play.
My son loves this. My son loves this thing.
Bradley gets in there and he starts playing, and the cats see it move, and then they go over and he'll start, and they just the 2 cats and the kid will sit there, and my daughters and son-in-law's dog just sort of sits there looking at him going, what are you guys doing? And they're over there just having a grand old time. So anyway.
Is this thing big enough for me to do my meditations in, or could I like climb inside of it? And
if you're flexible enough to fold up and get inside that,
actually,
Scott, I want to see that.
I get into my cross-legged position.
It does not have a floor. So Scott, we could set it down on top of you and you could go in there and go, oh,
FaceTime meditations with Scott.
Yes.
We'll say okay. Scott's having his alone time now.
I know what we're doing tomorrow now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Wiesner wants to know other instruments inside the space rocket. Well, just only half of the instruments that you're used to, Mike, on the jet airplanes that used to fly.
Right. On the A7s or whatever they were, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's a new item as well. The Explore Science.
I didn't know we had this.
Rumbling robots. Okay.
Dude.
This thing is.
I had the Rock'em Sock'em robots when I was a kid.
This is more than a toy. You have to put it together yourself. So it teaches you circuitry for the robots. Okay. Once you have it assembled, you can have fun bot battles with family and friends. Couldn't say it. I was trying to say friendly and friends. It wouldn't come out. So yeah, I haven't played with this. I need to get Heath and Tyler to put one of these together. We videotape them battling each other.
That would be awesome.
I think we have QA battle customer service.
So tomorrow we're going to have Rumbling Robots, Battle Bots, and Scott in the rocket tent meditating. So, all right. Another new item for this year, the rock tumbler set. You're a junior geologist to learn all sorts of things.
Yeah, this is cool too.
Yeah. Rock composition, geological processes, transform rough rocks to smooth, shiny stones through this 4-stage process of grinding and polishing the stones into beautiful quality stones. I had a rock tumbler when I was a kid. Loved using it. Great fun. It's a great toy for a kid.
So the way it works is you got like several different levels of grit or something like that.
Correct, and speeds and things like that. Yep, just like polishing a mirror. Exactly.
Very cool.
Excuse me. So moving up to something that we've had before, the large display weather station with temperature and humidity. As we all know, weather affects our lives. We can get it on our phones, but it's cool to have your own weather station so you can stay up to date with conditions where you live. It shows temperature, humidity, easy to read display, shows the weather forecast, indoor and outdoor temperature and humidity. It also offers plug and play for ease of use. And if you're really into weather, the Explorer Scientific 5-in-1
Yeah, that's
Wi-Fi
fine.
professional weather stations, the one we have here. All sorts of weather at your fingertip. It has, as you can tell, it has the outdoor anemometer and rain gauge and humidity, all sorts of things. Wireless antenna, measures rainfall, wind speed, wind direction, temperature, and humidity. And you can hook this thing up to Weather Underground and Weather Cloud to show your weather to the world on their web pages. So Scott mentioned this one, a similar item. This is the Star App 50, which is a 50 millimeter refractor telescope on a panhandle mount with the astronomy app. Okay, so this is on the 50 millimeter telescope. The one that was on QVC was a 70 millimeter telescope. And Scott, why don't you go ahead and give your spiel that you gave on in your QVC broadcast voice?
I have on occasion taken toy level type of telescopes out to serious star parties, and just to see how they would actually perform under decent skies. And here, let me get on here with you. Small telescopes actually can perform quite well, especially if you know how to aim them, okay, and how to find things up in the sky. And so just to see what the reaction would be like, I took a 70 millimeter refractor to the Texas Star Party. This was about 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And we had an amazingly clear night, really dark. TSP can get, I don't know, maybe it's Bortle 2 or bordering on Bortle 1 type of skies. You're out there where McDonald Observatory is. It's out in West Texas.
High desert. Yeah,
you're out in the biggest civilization out there is Fort Davis, and that is a little tiny town. And even from Fort Davis down on the main street at night, you can see the Milky Way stretching overhead. I mean, it's that dark. Out on the ranch where Texas Star Party is darker. And so I got this 70 millimeter telescope set up, and I aimed it at the Whirlpool Galaxy. And Kent, you could see structure in the arms.
I believe it.
You could see both components. And when I was setting it up, I mean, there were guys teasing me like, well, what, is that your telescope, Scott?
Yes, it
Normally
is.
I'll bring something more advanced. And, I put there was just a 26 Plossl that comes with it. Very nice view. And then I put in some of our more advanced eyepieces, and it got even better, so it was just, it's remarkable what only 70 millimeters of aperture will do. Astrophotographers know that small refractors can do a really excellent job if you're doing long exposures or, stacking and tracking to get long exposures. And, because there are guys out there shooting with like 70 millimeter quadruplet refractors and smaller refractors that are doing a beautiful wide field job, but visually, I'm seeing the Whirlpool Galaxy 25 million light years away, and with stunning detail. But it does take a transparent dark sky.
Gary Palmer used the Galileo scope, which is a 50, isn't it? 50?
No, it's not even
a 40.
50, like a 40. Yeah.
Did astrophotography with it. Got the moon. And,
the camera he had on the back of it was this, $1,500 camera or whatever. But yeah. So it is, in the right hands, small telescopes can do a great job. The problem that people experience with small telescopes is that they don't know how to beginners don't know how to connect with clubs very well. And so, that's one of the reasons why we have the Astronomical League live programs. We try to connect with astronomy clubs to do things like our global star parties and stuff like that. we want to get the word out about clubs and to join. And so one of the things that did my heart good was I was at Nebraska Star Party with John Johnson and those guys. And of course, this is another star party where they have huge Dobsonians and the high-end refractors and stuff like that, guys doing astrophotography and stuff. And so the darkest skies in North America out there, in the Sandy Hills. But there were families coming out with their kids, and they had small department store telescopes, and they were learning how to use them. And once they found things like, some galaxy or nebula, in August when they have that event, you get the the summer Milky Way and stuff. And so seeing like the Lagoon Nebula and stuff like that, which they can see, they learn to keep the power, the magnification power down low, and learn how to star hop. And with the aid of someone that knows the sky, then that person, once you're successful and you see your first deep sky object, and you learn how to translate that to a star map and how to do a little bit of star hopping technique, from there, you're going to just find one object right after the other.
Well, Scott, I think it's important that you're talking about as an amateur astronomers with skills, we have to be very cautious when people show up with a department store telescope.
Yeah.
We do not need to tell them that's junk. You don't need it. We need to do everything we can to make them successful with the telescope they have.
Right. It's like you've gone to an amateur orchestra gathering, and you showed up with a toy violin, and you have some musicians teasing you, okay, you're not going to want to show it up ever again,
Right.
That's embarrassing, right? So I would agree with you. You don't want to embarrass people. You want to inspire them. That's really our job in public outreach.
We were doing an astronomy, Sugar Creek Astronomical Society, the club I'm president of and one of the founders. We were doing an event in a little town in Gravett. It's called Moon Over Main. They turn off all the street lights in downtown.
Right.
And, I had our Dob 1045C out there, which is a hybrid Dob. And I really am learning to like this telescope a lot. And we were on Jupiter. There were some clouds, some thin clouds that kept getting thicker. Had kids that come up and they'd say, "Can I see the moon?" And I'd say, "Yeah." And it's a little Dob, and I just push it away and say, "Okay, you have to find it." And they'd look at me like I was crazy. And I said, "No, look, just look through this little red dot thing right here and just put your hand here, move the telescope, put it on the moon, and look through the eyepiece." And when they did that, they just light up with joy. And I said,
"Oh yeah, how empowering for them, right?"
It was, everything from, I had a 6-year-old girl who managed to find the moon. And then some, 8, 9, 10, 15, I had parents doing it. And the joy they had of finding the moon, Jupiter, and Saturn by themselves with very little instruction. And I'd say, "This is really not that hard, is it?" And they were not going, "No, this is not hard." I said, "Okay, but you wait until you get into light polluted skies, or, there's plenty of hard things to find. These are big, bright, and easy.
Yes.
But this is a great entry point." And,
Sure.
All right, we got a few more things to get to. Scotty, you want to say anything else there?
No, I'm just saying that, even if you only observe the moon your whole life as an amateur astronomer, you'll never get through all the features and studies that you can do just on one object. So,
Right.
So,
all right. So anyway, the Star at 50, you can hook your smartphone up to it. Let me start sharing again. You can hook your smartphone up to it. It basically turns it into a little go-to telescope is what it amounts to. Not a go-to, but a push-to telescopes. It's a push-to telescope. Really gets you started, makes it a little bit easier to find stuff. The next telescope is the National Geographic NT114 telescope. Perfect portal into the starting the deep sky objects. 114 millimeter aperture, 500 millimeter focal length. The telescope comes with 2 Plus-Li pieces that produce excellent sharp contrast images. always start with the 26. Don't use the 9.7 until you figure out how to point the telescope and get used to it. And every year we have people who can't figure out how to get the lens cap off of it, the dust cap off the end of it. So they call in and they'll argue, and finally you'll hear them go, boop, and it comes off. A couple of years ago, the first Christmas I worked here, I had a guy completely disassemble the telescope.
Oh, geez.
Took the primary out, took the secondary out, got the focuser off of it, literally disassembled the telescope, and it's got a 2-piece lens cap on it. It's got like a field stop and then the whole plate that covers. He managed to completely disassemble it without popping the end cap off. And I said, okay, so you have like a long screwdriver? Yeah. I said, okay, poke it down in the closed end of the tube and poke that thing hard. It went boop and came out, and he went, I'm an idiot. I said, no, actually, I'm very proud of you because you managed to disassemble it very effectively. And so I taught him how to put it back together. We got back together and it worked. And he was overjoyed.
As a boy, you disassembled all kinds of stuff. I did too. You know?
My dad would bring home things. I've told this story before. My dad would bring home stuff and say, take it apart, put it back together. And, you know, and this is today, my parents would probably go to jail because I think I had to be 5 to use the jigsaw and 6 to use the circular saw. So Annie, can you imagine letting your 6-year-old use a circular saw? Dax use a circular saw?
Yeah, that's never happening.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so moving on. The FirstLight 127 Maxitov Cassegrain on a Twilight Nano. It's a left, right, up, down, easy to use tripod, a mount, great for lunetary. I'm making up words today. Great for lunar and planetary, otherwise known as lunetary, which gives, you know, loony bin a little bit, but deep sky treasures with an easy reach. This is the telescope my dad got when he was not able to start lifting heavier telescopes up. And he enjoyed this exact telescope for 5 or 6 years until he just couldn't do anything anymore. So this telescope has a special place in my heart just because of it gave my dad great pleasure in the last years of his life. Moving on to the FirstLight 102 millimeter doublet refractor on an Exos 2 equatorial mount. It's fully coated, fully multi-coated glass on an equatorial, because once you learn how to use the equatorial, get it lined up with Polaris, you can smoothly follow stuff across the sky. Has great magnification power. Moving on, we have one in the gift guide. We actually have the Dob 1045C in the gift guide that we probably, Scott might want to have them take it out because, you know, we sold what we thought would be a year's worth of telescopes in less than 2 months. And so it's our forecasting abilities. It's hard to figure out what's going to happen. You know, there's been such a sea change, but we've got more ordered, but don't know when they're going to come in. So anyway, on to the Exos 100-02. This is a equatorial tracker with Wi-Fi Bluetooth reserved, and designed to work with a DSLR camera and lens or a small telescope. It's a go-to tracker, provides a great entry into the world of astrophotography. You control it with a iPad, Android tablet, or wirelessly with a computer, or wired with a Windows machine, or wired to a Windows machine. Sometime in 2022, we're going to come out with an iPhone application to control it, and an Android application to control it as well. So looking forward to that. Those are out there on the market now. Moving on to the first Exos 2 GT with PMC8, the first PMC8 system, carrying capacity of 28 pounds, which means 28 pounds of telescope and gear. So you have a pretty good sized telescope and camera and all sorts of stuff on it. driven by stepper motors instead of DC servo motors, gives precision control via commands from the A processors that are a heart of the system. Plenty of those in stock as well. Designed to power both of those systems is the Explore Scientific USB power bank with red light flashlight. And Del Beasley, one of our customers, lives in fire-prone area of California. And when the power goes out, he ended up buying one of these and used them to charge his phone for days and days on end. Ended up buying another one so he'd have plenty of power when the electricity was out. But these come with the correct tips for running your PMC8 systems. When you buy a power bank and online and then order the put your correct tip into your cord, you're getting what you pay for. And Annie can testify that many times the problems people have comes back to power, and many times it's the wrong tips. Even though it says they're the right tips, they don't work. Ours are guaranteed to work with our PMC8 systems. And now getting into some better stocking stuffers, or some stocking stuffers for bigger kids. Renowned Dutch graphic designer Will Tyrion designed these Explore Scientific double-sided multi-latitude planispheres. Planisphere shows you what's up in the night sky. This is a fantastic stocking stuffer for anyone who wants to know the night sky or already knows the night sky. And last, and maybe the least expensive thing on the stocking stuffer list is the Explore Scientific Astro R-Light red light flashlight. Offers astronomers a way to read their charts and check equipment while preserving their night vision. It's perfect size for tucking into a pocket or hanging around the neck on the included lanyard. I use them regularly at star parties at the darker sites, and people are always like, wow, that's pretty cool. What is that? I explain to them what's going on. Another little entry into discussing light pollution. And Scott, that wraps up the holiday gift guide and season of giving.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And,
Any comments out there?
Oh yeah, lots of comments.
Lots of discussion, eh?
Yeah. Cameron Gillis is saying he loves his Exos 2. Harold Locke wanted to know, are those gear-driven mounts? You're muted, Kent, for some reason. Kent, you're muted.
There. I couldn't get to it. I had a screen in the way.
Okay.
The question is gear driven. I think the answer is there's gears involved in the drivetrain. However, there is a belt from the spur gear on the motor to the pulley gear on the worm gear. Okay, so
transfer with a belt drive, but it is a worm drive system.
Right. It's got a worm drive that runs a ring gear that causes the mount to move in declination or right ascension. So it is a belt drive. The belt smooths out teeth chatter, some other things. So we went with the belt drive. Additionally, let's talk about the motors a little bit more. The motors are digital servo motors. And so it counts micro steps rather than being just a DC servo motor. You put power to it and it runs at full torque. It just runs. And if it runs into something, it just keeps driving at full torque until it starts chewing itself to pieces, right? With our stepper motors, there's a circuit board in there that we set the torque limit on those magnets in those digital motors. And so we can say, if the torque reaches this amount, then just let go. And so it sounds terrible when you hear it the first couple of times, but it's really a sound of nothing happening. There's no damage. All it's doing is you've lost your step counts. You got to go back and reset and start over again. But those servo motors are much more precise because they're counting electrical steps. The old direct drive motors, servo motors, use a wheel with little slits in it and a light emitter and a light reader to count flashes. And so that there's all sorts of problems that can crop up. A bug can get in there. Once somebody sent in and couldn't figure out what was wrong. There was a cricket stuck in there. The emitter can get bent. The diode can burn out. There's all sorts of issues potentially there. They're good systems. It's been around since the early 90s, really solid system. But the PMC8 system has taken that into a new realm to modernize and take advantage of the electronic developments that have happened in the past 30 or 40 years. Anything else, Scott?
I think that's it for right now. Cameron Gillis says it's a nice hybrid drive. Harold Locke says way better than his EQ6. So, yeah. So I think that's kind of it for today. We are again. James the astrophotographer says my winning pick of NeoWise was taken on an iXOS 100 PMC8. Thanks very much, James. That's great.
Everybody out there, if you've got one of our products and would be willing to go and do a review on our website or on Yelp or on the Better Business Bureau, we'd appreciate that. Those little things help us. And if you've had a good experience with it, go talk it up. If you had a bad experience, contact Annie. She'll fix it. Because she's the bomb.
Oh,
She is
thank
the bomb.
you.
All right. Well, it was great to kind of go through all this stuff with you guys. Annie, it's great to see you back. And give us a overview of all those great winners in our astrophotography contest. I'd say anybody that enters our astrophotography is somehow a winner because they're going to get their work seen, and and that's important as you're going through that astrophotography journey. That's the whole point of taking an image, is to show it to someone else, right? Ultimately. So I think that's it. Do you guys have anything more you'd like to add to wrap up, or?
I really want to say something about, I don't think Kent had it in the holiday guide, about the little creative board. Is that what it's called, Kent?
Nope. I'll get it up real quick while you're talking about it. Hang on.
So I just took a 13-hour road trip with a 4-year-old. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but in the audience or later on watching, but it was quite interesting. And I am a very much anti device parent. And so my son, I took this Explore One interactive fun board with him, and I charged it up when I left. The battery lasted for 2 days. I think it lasted even longer. It might've been 3. I don't know when it actually died, because you can still use it when the battery dies. And so he would draw with it.
Whoa.
Yep.
You can use it when the battery dies?
Yeah. So I found that he could draw on it, and then you could hit the trash can and it erases whatever he drew. So
it's like an Etch-a-Sketch.
It's
sort of like an Etch-a-Sketch at that point.
Yeah, but it's electronic. And so now I take it into restaurants and things like that. So it is the most amazing thing I have ever bought for him. And it helped that 13-hour trip.
So when he's just looking at a smartphone, you're watching your iPhone, your Android or whatever, you're just watching videos and they just sort of stare at it and just dumb down. This, like the picture I'm showing, it works on ABCs, sounds, uppercase, lowercase numbers, games, all sorts of things.
But you can also draw things. It also has a setting on there, like you draw something and have your friend guess it. But he builds random things. Like, he's just very hands-on. So he ended up not using the screen at all and just ended up drawing. In fact, it was so sweet. Him and my dad sat down at a table the other day at a restaurant, and my dad would draw something and he would add to it. And so it doesn't really, you can use it without the screen is what I'm saying. So and it doesn't have to be charged if you can still use it. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It was a great toy. So.
Cool. All right. So
Sorry.
that is a great little device. It really is. And I had not thought about it as the way you thought about it, as a replacement device for entertainment purposes. So instead of just letting kids watch videos on a smartphone, you give them this and it opens their world to educational sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I don't know why we didn't put that on we got plenty of them in stock. So good job, Andy, thinking about that one. So maybe we need to have that here's what we need to do, Scott. Have each of the staff pick their pick and have a staff gift guided, advisory. And that'll be Annie's. No one else can have it.
Our favorite STEM item. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Not
a
a
good
bad
idea.
idea.
We can work on that.
Sure.
So anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so we have On the Wing is tomorrow. No, we don't have On the Wing tomorrow.
No programming tomorrow.
No programming tomorrow, nor Friday. So no astrophotography
Monday
show.
with Dr. Barth. Okay, and then we're running through our programming all the way up to leading up to Thanksgiving. We're unfortunately not going to be here Thanksgiving.
So we may have the FirstLight show, FirstLight Chronicles early, because generally it starts slowing down here Wednesday afternoon. But we're gonna have FirstLight Chronicles.
Sure.
We'll do FirstLight Chronicles as well, and then we come back the week after Thanksgiving with full programming up through Christmas. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So I think that might be it. Anything else? No.
Not unless you have some comments.
We always have comments. Harold likes his rerun season. No, we're not going to do reruns. We're just going to keep doing live programming. So
reruns are on YouTube.
Hey, yeah, you can go back to YouTube and watch and catch up on anything that you've missed. So
yeah. Cameron Gillis says, that's true. You can do reruns by yourself. That's right. Anytime.
It's awesome to see the community that we have on these shows.
It is.
I mean,
it is
very.
They're interesting and they do so many things. While we were doing Global Star Party last night, I couldn't follow all of it, but there are guys here that build musical instruments, and are woodworkers and stuff like that. So, just a broad range of interests within our group and a lot of expertise. So it's very cool.
It's very humbling, honestly. To
it
me.
Is.
It really is humbling.
It is. Yeah. So I was kind of multitasking here, if you couldn't tell that. But I'm firming up a live interview with 8-year-old Nicolina in Brazil. She has been declared the world's youngest astronomer. She's 8 years old. And as an astronomer, she's doing research astronomy on asteroids. And so provided she can do the date that we're talking about, which is next Wednesday, which would be about 4 p.m. Central.
Sounds like a FirstLight Chronicle to me.
Yeah, it kind of goes into your FirstLight Chronicle time. Yep. It'll be Nicolina with Dr. Rosalie Lopez from the JPL NASA. Okay. And so, she'll be interviewed by one of the world's leading planetary scientists. And so it's going to be kind of cool, I think.
I will surrender my time slot to her.
For that one, huh? Yeah, but we just got to check and see if she can do it. The timing, I think, will be okay. So
that'll be cool if that happens. When that happens, because it's going to happen sooner or later. Right?
It will happen sooner or later. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and she uses an Explore Scientific FirstLight 127 Mac. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Anyways, thank you so much. And we will see you guys. Keep looking up. We'll see you next Monday and take care.
Why do we chase this thing? Jumping from one continent to the next, just to bathe for a moment in the absence of light? Who are we? What are we searching for?
T.S. Eliot wrote, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time."
One of the qualities of seeing an eclipse is it makes you understand that every given thing is in a particular patterned relation with every other thing.
It gives me a sense of scale, gives me a sense of where I fit into the universe.
It is art, it's poetry, it's this kind of experience of going and seeing totality in which what feels merely metaphorical is suddenly experiential encounter.
Immediately afterwards, you have that overwhelming desire to see another one. That's the moment an eclipse chaser is born.
These are folks who are running all over the world for this event that lasts all of 2 or 3 minutes. Who are these people?
It's unique each time, and therefore that freshness, even if we've seen it over and over again, oh my gosh, it has the potential to re-inspire us.
A total eclipse of the sun doesn't just unfold in the heavens. It transforms the minds and hearts of those who experience it firsthand. The same is true of journeys to the most remote regions of our planet. Whether we're standing on a mountain peak or in a stark polar landscape, we can't help but reflect on our place within the larger scheme of things.